So that day we saw that the cornfield of Lancho was totally devastated and everything was lost, and they all were in shock. I have given you some tasks to do at home, and this part of lesson which we have done the other day, I hope you all have understood. So let's proceed with the next part now. The name of the lesson is A Letter to God. We are going to continue with the same lesson, the next part of the lesson. But in the hearts of all who lived in that solitary house, in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope, help from God. So that was the only house, the solitary house that was in the middle of the valley on the crest of the hill. And when everything was lost, nothing was there was only thing which was there in their hearts was help from God. They all were sure that they will get help from God. Don't be so upset. Even though this seems like a total loss, remember, no one dies of hunger. That's what they say. No one dies of hunger. What was there in their mind? And what did Lencho say? That let everything be lost. It makes no difference. Even if we have lost everything and we have nothing, nobody dies of hunger. We will get some or the other solution to our problem. All through the night, Lencho thought only of his one hope, the help of God, whose eyes, as he had been instructed, see everything, even what is deep in one's conscience. So, he was instructed from his childhood, he was told from his childhood that God sees everything, God knows everything. You should not get upset, you should not get disturbed by any type of situations. God has an eye over everything and He reaches out to us in some or the other way. Lencho was an ox of a man, working like an animal in the fields, but still he knew how to ride. Lencho was an ox of a man. Means what? He was a very hard working person. He used to work like an animal. He was able to work for long hours. So the author here says that he was a very hard working person. He would work like an animal in the fields, but a good thing about Lencho was that he also knew to read and write. The following Sunday at daybreak, he began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. It was nothing less than a letter to God. Now when everything happened and the whole night he couldn't sleep, he was very much disturbed. But then in his inner self, what did it say? That he will definitely get help from God. So what did he do? He thought of writing a letter to God and asking some help from God. So the following Sunday at daybreak, means as soon as the day began, early morning, what did he do? He started writing a letter, and he himself would write the letter and he would go to the town and post it in the mail. He would not ask anybody else to do this work for him. Let us see what he wrote in the letter. God, he wrote, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. I need 100 pesos in order to sow my field again and to live until the crop comes, because the hailstorm, and so on. So what did he write in the letter? He wrote to God that, see God, me and my family needs 100 pesos to survive throughout the year till we get the next crop in the next season. And if you don't help us, then we will not be able to survive or we will die. And he says that you know everything, the hailstorm has destroyed everything in the field, and he gives the complete description of how the storm had destroyed his fields and how he had nothing to eat, how he would not get any money, from anywhere, and there was nobody who could help him except God. So here the way he writes is that the only way to seek help was from God. There was nobody else to help Lan Chu. He wrote to God on the envelope. So what was the address he wrote? To God. Put the letter inside and, still troubled, went to town. At the post office he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. Now what did he do? The address which he wrote was this. Only this much. To God. Address. Nothing he wrote on the envelope because this he thought was enough. It would reach God. And then he put a stamp on the envelope and dropped the letter in the mailbox. One of the employees, who was a postman and also helped at the post office, went to his boss laughing heartily and showed him the letter to God. Never in his career as a postman had he known that address. Now what happened? When we post a letter in the post box, they collect all the letters from the mailbox or the post box and they sort it out according to the addresses, according to the town, according to the city, according to the addresses. So there are many people working on it. So in this post office there was a postman who also helped. Postman is a person who delivers letter. So there was a postman who also helped in the post office work. So when they were sorting the letters, he came across this letter. And when he read it, the address was to God. And he found it very funny. He found it very strange. How could somebody write a letter to God? And the address which was mentioned on the envelope was only this much, to God. So what did he do? He immediately took that letter and he went to the postmaster. Postmaster is the head of the post office. And he showed him the letter, laughing very loudly. The postmaster, a fat, amiable fellow, also broke out laughing. But almost immediately he turned serious and tapping the letter on his desk, commented, "What faith! I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote this letter, starting up a correspondence with God." Now what happened? When the postman brought the letter to the postmaster, he also started laughing. But immediately what did he do? He stopped and he became serious and he thought, so much faith this person has that he has written a letter to God. When we write a letter to God, naturally we are expecting some reply from him. So this postmaster felt it very nice. He felt that if I could have such faith in God, it would be so nice. It would be so good if I could keep so much faith in God. I could be able to start correspondence with God. So, in order not to shake the writer's faith in God, the postmaster came up with an idea. Answer the letter. So in order not to shake the writer's faith in God, the postmaster came up with an idea. Answer the letter. But when he opened it, it was evident that to answer it, he needed something more than goodwill, ink and paper. So when he saw Lan Chu's faith in God, he was very much shocked to see that how somebody can have unbelievable faith in something. And what did he do? He was a very nice person. He was a kind-hearted person. He was an amiable person. He was a friendly person. So what did he do? He thought of answering the letter. Because he had just seen the envelope with the address to God. He did not know what was there inside the letter. But still, what did he say? He told the postmaster, we will answer the letter. But when they opened the letter, when they opened the envelope, what did they find? It was not just their goodwill, their kind heart or ink and paper which would help them to answer Lan Chu's letter. Why does the author say this here? Because Lan Chu had demanded money from God. Right? Let us see. But he stuck to his resolution. He asked for money from his employees. He himself gave part of his salary, and several friends of his were obliged to give something for an act of charity. Now what did this person do here? He stuck to the resolution that I need to help this man. So for this, what did he do? He gave a part of his salary, means the amount of money which he received every month for the work he did in the post office, that is salary. So a part of his salary he donated, then he asked money to all the other employees, and he also asked his friends outside to donate for this good cause, for this charity work. It was impossible for him to gather together the 100 pesos. So he was able to send the farmer only a little more than half. He put the money in an envelope addressed to Lancho, and with it a letter containing only a single word as a signature, God. Now, this kind-hearted man, he collected money from the employees, he donated himself, he collected from his friends also, but it was not possible for him to collect 100 pesos. It was a very big amount, but still what did he do? He had managed to collect more than half of the amount which Lencho had demanded. More than half means it could be 60, it could be 70, it could be 80. So he was able to collect more than half, means more than 50 pesos he was able to collect. And what did he do? He put all the money in the envelope and he put a letter which contained only one single word. It was God. Now, before we proceed, here they have given 3 questions. Please go through the passage once again, the part of the lesson which we have done now, and answer these questions. You need to write the questions in the notebook and the answers to it. I didn't find any such difficult words, but still if you find the words are new for you, please underline and write down the meanings there and then in the text. Let's proceed with the lesson. The following Sunday, Lancho came a bit earlier than usual to ask if there was a letter for him. It was the postman himself who handed the letter to him, while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment of a man who has performed a good deed, looked from his office. Now, the following Sunday, Lancho came to the post office. See the confidence of the man. Why did he come to the post office? He knew that God would reply to his letter. The previous Sunday he had posted a letter to God, and this coming Sunday, the following Sunday, he again came to the post office to find out what reply has God sent to him. So what did the postmaster do? He handed the letter to the man. He handed the letter himself to Lancho, and the postman handed the letter to Lancho, and the postmaster was sitting in the office. He wanted to see the expressions, see how Lancho feels about it when he opens the envelope, and he was feeling so good inside. He was feeling so good for himself that he has done a very kind deed. He had helped for a kind cause. Lancho showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money. Such was his confidence. But he became angry when he counted the money. God could not have made a mistake, nor could he have denied Lancho what he had requested. Now, as soon as Lancho received the envelope from the postman, he opened it, and they all were watching at how could Lancho feel to see the money in the envelope, or how could he feel that he has got a reply from God. But when Lancho took the envelope in his hand, he was not at all surprised. He was confident, he was sure that God would reply him. And when he took out the money and he counted them, instead of becoming happy for what God has done for him, he became very angry, because the money which he had demanded was 100 pesos and the received amount was less than 100. And he was sure that God would never made a mistake. Then something was running behind his mind. Immediately, Lencho went up to the window to ask for paper and ink. On the public writing table, he started to write. With much wrinkling of his brow, caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas. So as soon as he saw the money, he counted the money, they were less than 100, he became very angry. And what did he do? He immediately went to the window, he took the pen and paper and went to the public writing table and started writing with very difficulty. See the sentence? With much wrinkling of his brow, caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas. Now, as I said, there was something running behind his mind that he had to express in words, and he was writing the ideas. He was writing what was in his mind. When he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp which he licked and then affixed to the envelope with a blow of his fist. What did he do? After finished writing, he went to the window to collect the stamp and he fixed the stamp on the envelope. The moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it. It said, "God, of the money that I asked for, only 70 pesos reached me. Send me the rest since I need it very much. But don't send it to me through the mail, because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks." Lencho. Now see, the moment the letter fell into the mailbox, what did the postmaster do? He did not know what Lencho had written, but he thought that Lencho must have written something good. Lencho must have written a thanksgiving letter to God. So he immediately went to the mailbox, he took out the letter and he started reading. But what Lencho had written there? Lencho had written that, "God, I had asked you for 100 pesos and you have given me less amount. It is not sufficient for me. I need more. I need more amount to survive throughout the year till I get my next crop. So please send me the rest amount." He was telling God. He had written there to God that please send me the rest amount. Rest amount was the 30 pesos, which were less in the envelope. And he also mentioned there that please don't send the money through the mail. Why? Because he thought that the people who were working in the post office, they were a bunch of crooks. Means they were dishonest people. As I said to you that something was running behind his mind. When he counted the money, what was that? It was that these people, they must have taken his money. God must have sent 100 pesos, but these people who were working there, they must have opened and they must have taken away his money. So, as we saw it as we discussed the lesson in the beginning, I told you that he was very ungrateful towards the good cause. He was ungrateful towards the people who had helped him out in such a critical condition. So here we finish up with the lesson. There are 2 questions given there again. It is oral, but we need to write that. So we go through it or we revise it perfectly. Question number 1. Was Lencho surprised to find a letter for him with money in it? Question 2. What made him angry? Here we finish up with the questions which were there in the lesson. Now there are some more exercises given behind the lesson. Go through the questions and find out the answers to all the questions given there. If you find any difficulty doing it, please feel free to call me. Okay? We are going to do the question answers. That is question till question number 6. The remaining part and the grammar part we will be doing later on. So we finish up with lesson number 1. That's all.